Well, look at that. Yes, we are talking about a new case. May not be new to you. I happened to see a clip of this on Saturday and I instantly went, bullshit. This makes absolutely no sense. Okay? This makes no sense at all. Yes, we are live and shit. Thank you, V. Oakley. Thank you, Broken Golf Doll. We are live and shit. You better believe it. Woo! And Mama Bear, look at that. She brought the coffee and the donuts. What to do? Well, I tell you what, we were busy yesterday. We had a show for summer. We had our Elvis tribute. And then I had my throwdown with Lips. What an idiot. What an idiot. What to do? Tell you what, the devil's work is never done. Can someone get Susan a bear claw? Susan wants a bear claw. Good morning, Bonnie. I've missed you, honey. Can someone get Susan a bear claw? Would you like it warmed up, Susan? Do you like it with apple or do you like it just straight brown sugar and caramel? Do tell. Do tell. Real Rockin' Robin said, oh my God, some more BS. Hey, Russ, what's up? Me and Jinbug have been going back and forth with this. Jinbug probably, I'm like that woman from Murder, She Wrote. Anytime I message Jinbug, it's always bad news. It's always about these cases. Well, and her cactuses. You know, I'm always like, hey, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you hear this? This is insane. Insane. This couple, here they are, lovely people. Jake and Rebecca Haro are claiming that on August 14th, Rebecca was at a sporting goods store. She was there to buy a mouth guard for her stepson for football practice. And she realized that their son, Emmanuel, who appears to me has been a victim of shaken babies syndrome. That's just me. I see the swollen head. I see the crossed eyes. I've seen some pictures of him where it looks like he can't take a grip. It looks like, I'm no professional. I'm just saying it looks like shaken babies syndrome to me. So she's saying that she's changing a muddy diaper and she heard the word hola. She gets her ass beat. She goes unconscious and somebody kidnapped Emmanuel. Well, what do you know? What do you know? Now, remember, there is a bathroom in the sporting goods store. She could have easily taken Emmanuel inside to change his diaper, but here's the kicker. Emmanuel was not at that football game. The last sighting of Emmanuel is August 3rd. That's what we're being told. This story is insane. It is lie after lie after lie after lie. Look at her eye. Look at her eye. How many of you have ever gotten a bruise? I'm pretty sure everyone. It doesn't instantly turn black. I was like, what the hell? That's an old bruise. That's a healing bruise. She didn't just get that bruise. Okay, before we get to it, you know the routine. Let's tell everyone good morning. Or as Rebecca says, hola. Always got to be a Carlos in every white woman's story, is there not? Welcome to Letitia's world. All right, so police detectives found all kinds of inconsistencies in Rebecca's story. Of course, Jake's not going to be part of it because I think she's protecting him. That's just what I think. And they, once they were asked to take a polygraph test, he refused for her. And then, lo and behold, they lawyered up. All right, police called off their search. This is very, very important. They know they're not looking for a live baby, and they know they're not looking for anyone that says hola and just sucker punches someone at the sporting goods store. No. They found blood in their laundry room, which they have not confirmed whose blood it is. They've been digging up the backyard, law enforcement. It is an insane story. Question number one, why was Jake ever allowed around children? He has already spent time in prison, not the county jail, for child cruelty. You ask what he did? What could Jake have done? Jake is what you call a lazy fuck, okay? While his ex-wife was out working, Jake would sit at home and play on the PlayStation. Yeah, he's one of those, my friends. He's one of those. So instead of taking care of his child, which is the least he could have done considering he's not bringing home the bacon, he kept the child in a dog cage and would drug the child to the point where he didn't have to hear anything out of the child. Yeah. What a dad. I need to know, not that criminals follow the law, not that criminals follow the rules. I want to know how he was ever allowed around children again. How? How? Now, this is in California in the San Bernardino Valley. Hey, Snowy Poo, where you been? Girl, I've been missing you. Let's do a little recap. Okay, this is from ABC 7, and this is the initial report.
In Yucaipa, the boy's mother claimed
Yucaipa, okay. I will remember to pronounce that correctly.
He was taken from a Yucaipa parking lot.
Yeah, Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan just spoke to the family, and he is live in Yucaipa with the latest. Rob.
Well, not only is this family desperate to find out what happened out here, but so are detectives with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's.
I'm going to stop Mr. Developing Story right there. Good morning, I see you. They're not desperate to find out what happened because in my humble, uneducated opinion, they already know. It's detectives that are scrambling around to find the truth, okay? It's detectives that want to know. You can't get to the truth without the truth and the facts. And that is not what they have been handed. And I'm telling you, I think he had been gone for at least a week and a half, possibly longer. It's very odd to me that Jake's family, all their TikToks and all the stuff they were saying about how horrible this is and Emmanuel was kidnapped, they took them all down. You know why? Because they got this at the door. Police, we need to talk to you. Police, we need to talk to you. This is what we know. When's the last time you saw Emmanuel? When you're talking to Rebecca, does she mention Emmanuel? When you're on the phone with Rebecca, do you hear a baby crying in the back? Rebecca, and we're going to have a bunch of people coming out of the woodwork saying, she's an abused woman, Brooks. You just don't even know what domestic violence is like, Brooks. You just don't even know. I think she's just scared to death, Brooks. Be scared for your children, not yourself. Be scared for yourself. Okay?
Department who have returned to the scene where a 7-month-old baby boy was reportedly kidnapped right out of this Big 5 parking lot. Let's bring up his picture right now. This is 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, one of 5 children in this family from Cabazon, reportedly kidnapped last night in Yucaipa. Now, his mom told me that they were here last night at a nearby football stadium in Yucaipa with the other kids playing youth football, and she had to run down here to Big 5 to buy some equipment for her stepson, specifically a mouth guard. When she got here to the parking lot, she says that's when she noticed her 7-month-old's diaper needed to be changed. So she says she got out of her truck, went around to the back, and laid him down on the seat to change his diaper when she was attacked from behind.
Attacked from behind, but she has an old bruise that I would say has been there at least 2 weeks. Come on. Come on. If this was a fresh bruise, it would be swollen and red. It takes a long time for the blood to come to the surface. And here's a fun fact. Rebecca and Jake went to that sporting goods store on the 13th of August, the day before the supposed kidnapping, and asked if they have cameras around the store. They were told, no, we don't. I don't know what was going on with that. They said because their car had been broke into and they really needed the camera footage. And they said, no, we don't have any cameras outside. Lies, lies, lies. So she or they were trying to find a place to make up this kidnapping. It is all premeditated. It is all plotted. And then my favorite thing is saying someone just said, Ola, hits her from behind. She gets a bruise that looks like it's about 2 weeks old. Doesn't take the car, but takes the baby. No, 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 no. Too bad. No. Danny Dean said, but the dad is Hispanic. Yeah, don't you love that? Hey, real quick, I want to say thank you so much to Southern Shortcake for becoming a new YouTube member. I love your comments. I love all the things you say, and so happy you are part of our family. So to use Rebecca's words, hola, that bitch.
Diaper when she was attacked from behind. Now, we did speak with her a short time ago about what she says happened here in this parking lot last night, right around sunset.
I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, hola, and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And hearing sound, I fell on the floor.
She fell on the floor. She was in a parking lot. Okay? This is an old bruise, and it looks like she has one on the other side of her face that is also healing. Listen to her again. I fell on the floor. I saw white. You saw white? He said, hola. And then I fell on the floor. You mean the asphalt? You mean you fell into the parking lot? No point in even arguing why she didn't bring Emmanuel into the store to change his diaper, where there would be bathrooms in there with changing stations. He wasn't there. No one saw Emmanuel at that football game. No one has seen Emmanuel since August 3rd.
Right around sunset.
I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And a hearing sound, I fell on the floor. And I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck. And I ran into Big 5. And I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy.
He was a happy boy. No, Rebecca, I think you're describing when Jake beat your ass and you fell on the floor. Was Rebecca fighting with Jake because, again, he was abusing Emmanuel? Because I'm telling you right now, she's describing home life. And Emmanuel, who was born a perfectly healthy baby, looks to me like he is a victim of shaken baby syndrome.
He smiled. Mackenzie loved to kiss him.
He was a healthy baby. He was crawling. He was kicking. He was playing with his toys. Whoever took our son, please give him back.
You did, you piece of shit. And now the authorities in California have your daughter. Yeah. It was crawling. Okay? I didn't even call my cat an it. This detachment that comes from these parents. It was crawling. These people piss me off to no end.
Members of this community also desperate to find out where this boy is. I talked with a couple of them who said that there were scores of investigators out here last night. We just saw them return to the scene right now. They've had search dogs out here trying to pick up a scent. They're trying to gather video. We don't see a lot of surveillance cameras in this area, but they are trying to gather video. Again, the search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is. Live in Yucaipa, Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, the detectives are not mincing words. Matter of fact, they are saying that the parents are their prime suspects. They came right out and said it. They are not ruling out foul play. There is no Amber Alert. However, Jake and Rebecca are their prime suspects. Stephanie Murray said, "I'm getting Oren and Orson vibes." Yeah. So why the 14th? Did they just bury him that day? Who knows? For all we know, they could have pulled an Adam Montgomery and had him in the freezer. Could have had him in a bag. No one in law enforcement seems to believe he is alive. No one seems to believe he's alive. Oh, and I'll tell you what, to even make it worse. Okay, so on August 14th, Rebecca, Emmanuel's mom, she told investigators that she left her husband, Jake, and their other children at a local park where one of the boys was having football practice. She said, "I came over here and parked right on the edge. When I was driving over, I smelled the baby and went to the restroom. So I said, 'Don't worry, we are going to change you.'" Well, she didn't go in the store. After parking, Rebecca claims she laid the baby down next to the car seat and changed his diaper. The last thing she says she remembers was hearing a stranger's voice saying "Hola" before she was attacked. "I was going to get the diaper and somebody said "Hola," and I don't remember anything since. I woke up here on the floor. Here on the floor is her home. Here on the floor is not the parking lot at the sporting goods store." Officials with both Riverside and San Bernardino County deployed K-9 units and helicopters during an extensive manhunt, and they were unsuccessful. Yeah, you think? Sheriff's investigators confronted Rebecca with her inconsistencies, and Rebecca has now refused to speak to authorities. The child's grandmother, who believes the couple is innocent, said investigators asked Rebecca to take a lie detector test, but that her husband Jake refused the request until they had a lawyer present. Well, a lawyer is not going to change the truth. A lawyer is going to tell you not to take one. And everyone knows I don't care about lie detectors. I just really don't. I mean, until they're used in court and they get the science down to a gnat's ass, it goes in one ear and out the other for me. But Jake has a June of 2023 felony conviction for child cruelty dating back to 2018. Okay? 2018. It's a bad, bad situation. Let's go back to 2018. Jake Haro. His 10-week-old daughter was admitted to Hemet Valley Hospital. Doctors reported to police that the little girl had an acute fractured rib, 6 ribs with healing fractures, a skull fracture with brain hemorrhage, swelling of the neck, and fractured leg bone that was healing. Also, there was another child kept in a freaking dog cage. The combination of the above findings in a pre-mobile infant is the absence of plausible history of significant trauma to explain the injuries and is indicative of shaken baby syndrome. You could see this on KTLA. Haro, that's Jake, good old Jake, blamed the baby's injuries on his wife. Not Rebecca, his former wife. Both were arrested and they pled guilty to the charge in 2023. Again, when people scream, what's CPS doing? What's CPS doing? In this case, I'm going to ask, what the hell were they doing? Child cruelty? How many times do we ever hear that charge? It is so rare that you hear the charge, child cruelty. Now, mind you, all of those children now are with Child Protective Services. My question is, after the hospital visit in 2018, why was his arrest in 2023? It didn't take them 5 years to figure it out, unless I'm misreading the article. This is 2025. Why is he still not in jail? And why is he allowed around other children? Emmanuel is 7 months old. All right. Someone's going to have to explain this to me because I don't get it. But detectives are on it. Again, this is from KTLA that said foul play is not ruled out.
Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Corinne Winter.
And hi, I'm Courtney Friel, in tonight for Rick Chambers. Now at 10 o'clock, where is baby Emmanuel? It has been over 48 hours since anyone has seen the 7-month-old who was reported missing by his mother in San Bernardino County.
And tonight, investigators saying they cannot rule out foul play in his disappearance. The boy's mother says that she was attacked Thursday in the parking lot of a big
Stephanie said, I heard the other children are with the other ex-girlfriend. Well, that figures. CPS says we have no place in foster care for horribly abused children, so we're going to go ahead and put them with your ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good God. They're children. They're not pets. And I would have a problem if we're talking about pets, too.
5 in Yucaipa, and that the attacker took off with her baby.
Now, deputies say there are inconsistencies with her account of what happened. KTLA5 Sarah Welsh joins us live in San Bernardino with the latest on this story. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Clark, good evening. Investigators say when they confronted Rebecca Harrow about inconsistencies within her initial statement that she refused to continue any questioning. And tonight, the grandmother has confirmed to us that the couple is no longer cooperating with investigators and has lawyered up just hours after they made that desperate public plea for their son's safe return.
It's just a baby. Just give.
Okay, so the grandmother said they're not going to cooperate with the police. But how are you going to find just a baby? He's just a baby. He's just a baby. A baby that you all have been abusing the hell out of. And I get that grandma publicly is saying she don't think they did anything. Have at it, grandma. The evidence says to the contrary. Coco Pop says, does California have the death penalty? No, they do not. They do not. Hang on. Somebody wants the link to the other channel. I'll put it in here. Actually, I'll pin it. Give me a second. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, we have a lot of fun on that channel. We do. Yesterday, we did a show about Elvis. Yeah, we're going to start more. Here, I will pin it right now. If you guys want to check it out, please do so. Okay, so they're holding up this flyer. He's just a baby. He's just a baby. He's just a baby. Okay. But you guys are abusive people. You guys are very abusive people. ICU said it drives me insane when parents refuse to believe their kids do stupid things. I can't stand the enabling. Hazel said grandma thinks her son and his brother didn't kill his girlfriend. Grandma's in denial. Grandma is definitely in denial. She is.
Safe return.
It's just a baby. Just give our son back, please.
Where is 7-month-old Emmanuel? His parents, Jake and Rebecca Harrow, say someone kidnapped their baby outside this Big Five in Yucaipa after assaulting Rebecca Harrow and knocking her out cold.
I was gonna get the diaper and somebody said, "Hola."
Somebody said, Ola, look at her eyes. Yeah, I know I keep pausing it. Look at her eyes. These are not fresh injuries. I'm sorry, they are not fresh injuries. You can clearly see her left eye. Well, I mean, if you're looking at your screen, it's going to be on your right. That eye has been healing for quite a while. And then the eye where it has the other bruise is also healing. These are not fresh wounds. They're not.
And I didn't see nothing since. I woke up right here on the floor. And I didn't see Emmanuel.
Harrow says she was parked in front of the store about to change her son's diaper when someone came up behind and assaulted her. She claims she was struck in the face but wasn't able to get a look at who did it before they took off with her son. But investigators say there are inconsistencies with Harrow's initial statement, and because of that, they cannot rule out foul play.
They're not going to hurt that baby. That couple were just homebodies.
The baby's grandmother is adamant the couple is innocent. She says Emmanuel is her daughter's pride and joy and that she waited years to have a baby boy of her own. The grandmother also says investigators asked her daughter to take a lie detector test, but her husband said no until they had a lawyer.
She's just going crazy, she can't handle it anymore.
She says her daughter is receiving death threats and her 2-year-old has been removed from the home. As the search for baby Emmanuel goes on 48 hours after his mother claims someone ran off with him.
Premeditated and plotted. May, who just gifted a Crime Lines and Lies membership. Who got it? Who got it? Who got it? Let's thank May for growing the family. Please, come on. We can do it, everyone. Say thank you to May. Mommy T said, I want to know if anyone saw Emmanuel at the football game. Negative. No one did. No one did. Two Boston moms said, look at her mouth. She's bruised there too. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go back to these fools. You know, and grandma can kiss my ass.
She was struck in the face, but wasn't able to get a look at who did it before they took off with her son.
It's a Mexican guy that said, Hola. Leave it to white women to make up a story, and it's always got to be a Mexican or a black. Every time. Every time. Look at Letitia. Leilani. Megan Boswell. Susan Smith almost started a damn race riot.
But investigators say there are inconsistencies with Harrow's initial statement, and because of that, they cannot rule out foul play.
They're not going to hurt that baby. That couple were just homebodies.
The baby's grandmother is adamant the couple is innocent. She says Emmanuel is her daughter's pride and joy and that she waited years to have a baby boy of her own. The grandmother also says investigators asked her daughter to take a lie detector test, but her husband said no until they had a lawyer.
She's just going crazy, you know, she can't handle it anymore. You know?
She says her daughter is receiving death threats and her 2-year-old has been removed from the home as the search for baby Emmanuel goes on 48 hours after his mother claims someone ran off with him. And we have learned tonight that the baby's father does have a criminal record, and the grandmother told us that investigators were out at the couple's home in Cabazon searching the home with cadaver dogs and also digging up parts of the property. We tried to reach out to San Bernardino County investigators for any information on that, but they aren't taking any more questions today. Meantime, they are asking anyone with any information about this case, anyone with any information on the whereabouts of baby Emmanuel, to give them a call. And you can do it anonymously by calling 1-800-78-CRIME. Karina Court will send it back to you in Hollywood.
Virginia Woolf, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, crazy ass Sherry Papini said Mexican women abducted her. Yeah, they're never going to blame Whitey for doing anything wrong. Absolutely crazy. Stupid. We talked about it last week with London Kerr. If you missed if you missed it, please go check it out. His mother said the same thing. Someone named Carlos took London. She traded London for drugs. Yeah, that makes it all better. All right, this guy is on the TikTok, and someone saw Rebecca before the fake kidnapping and had a lot to say.
Welcome in. New developments involving little Emmanuel Haro. Today is Sunday, August 17th. We received a message from a constituent saying that she did have an encounter with Rebecca and her other daughter, and that she already had black eyes. I have the phone here with the message, and I'm going to read it directly to you, fine folks, so that you can get a better understanding.
Listen, this guy cracks me up, okay? I saw someone said he's the Mexican JLR. I love it. I adore it. I do. I don't know. When does JLR sleep? When does he sleep? Because I'm telling you, I don't even have to watch the news anymore. I get like this shit that pops up on my phone. JLR. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? The hell is he doing? And how did he get there?
And her other daughter, and that she already had black eyes. I have the phone here with the message, and I'm going to read it directly to you, fine folks, so that you can get a better understanding. Another clue on the tira, and the message is as follows. It says, hello, I wanted to reach out to you because I have already contacted authorities, and I am waiting for their call back. My daughter and I had an encounter with Emmanuel's mother and his sister the night before he was reported missing in August 13th in Banning, California, next to Cabazon at the Atwell Community Park. She had a black eye already and was very erratic. I'm thinking he could be anywhere near Banning, and I asked her if she had film of her acting in this manner, and she stated no, but I did recognize her from the park, and that was her. Maybe this can help with the investigation. She was there Wednesday night with her 2-year-old daughter, but not the little boy on the tira, and so.
Okay, let's go through this again. At first, I thought he said she saw her with Emmanuel. My understanding is she told police that she saw her only with the 2-year-old. How do you say JLR in Spanish? Can anyone help me? Because I love when people say he's the Mexican JLR. I think he's great, personally. I do. I really. And I'm not a TikTok person, but I do watch him. It's too confusing for me.
On the tira, welcome in. New developments involving little Emmanuel Haro. Today is Sunday, August 17th. We received a message from a constituent saying that she did have an.
Thank you, True Crime Beat. True Crime Beat said, I think it's just JLR. I did not realize that True Crime Beat worked for the fucking United Nations. Let's everyone give a round of applause to True Crime Beat. Always handy in a pinch. Love you, True Crime Beat.
Encounter with Rebecca and her other daughter, and that she already had black eyes. I have the phone here with the message, and I'm going to read it directly to you, fine folks, so that you can get a better understanding. Another clue on the tira, and the message is as follows. It says, hello, I wanted to reach out to you because I have already contacted authorities, and I am waiting for their call back. My daughter and I had an encounter with Emmanuel's mother and his sister the night.
Okay, Emmanuel's mother and his sister, not Emmanuel. Because the most recent thing I have read, Emmanuel has not been seen by anybody, because you cannot trust Rebecca and Jake since August 3rd. That's why the title of my show is, I think he's been dead for weeks. I'm telling you.
Before he was reported missing in August 13th in Banning, California, next to Cabazon at the Atwell Community Park. She had a black eye already and was very erratic. I'm thinking he could be anywhere near Banning, and I asked her if she had film of her acting in this manner, and she stated no, but I did recognize her from the park, and that was her. Maybe this can help with the investigation. She was there Wednesday night with her 2-year-old daughter, but not the little boy on the tira, and so new questions have now arisen whether this baby was ever even in Yucaipa to begin with. And looking at the mother's photograph from her interview, you notice she had a black eye, but she also had a faint bruising from her other eye. And so,
yes, we talked about that. You can see faint bruising on the other eye. Two Boston moms said she also looks bruised around her mouth.
So new questions remain if, in fact, this is just a matter of domestic violence, manipulation, scare tactics, or just all-around fear of her life. Because if the father is involved, and so the mother, who's to say they're not protecting each other, or since the father does have priors, who's to say that he didn't hurt the child himself, or maybe in an altercation with the mother, or maybe together, or who knows? Sheriff detectives have reached the compound in Cabazon, and we did locate cameras, and we have more video from other establishments saying that they, in fact, did turn in cameras to the police. I haven't got to edit those videos just yet, but just know that there is more to come on the tira, homie. And I'm also your local friendly neighborhood news reporter, homie. Thank you to all my constituents for allowing me to be the voice of the barrio, homie, on the tira. Hashtag.
All right. This is important information. Good morning, Chasing Justice. This is important information. So this woman saw Rebecca the night before the alleged kidnapping. Hey, Shannon, what's up, girl? And she said, bitch was already bruised up and did not have a manual with her. According to KTLA, the only person that can confirm, and they don't say who, the only person that confirmed seeing Emmanuel. I don't mean on Facebook. I don't mean on the TikTok. I don't mean on the Snapchat. I don't mean on the Twitter. In person was August 3rd. Okay. So then on the 14th, we have a kidnapping. No. There's way too much going on here. All right. The employees at the Big Five sporting goods store have spoken extensively to detectives because even they were a little taken aback. Supposedly, Rebecca was there to buy a mouth guard. Well, there was no mouth guard to be bought. Nothing like that. They had some very interesting things to say. This is clipped from our friend, Evil Exists.
7-month-old Emmanuel Harrow is still missing, and sadly, I don't think he is with us anymore. The countless red flags from his parents.
Just when people think I'm callous, Evil Exists comes right out and says, I don't think he's with us anymore.
Are alarming to say the least. There are blatant lies and inconsistencies, and I think everyone is getting frustrated with just how blatant Rebecca's lies really are. She has a black eye that looks days old, already on its way to healing. She's being called out by Jake's ex-wife, who says the baby wasn't at the football game. It's also stated that
Emmanuel was not at the football game. So how on earth do you say, he was in his car seat and I went to the sporting goods store to get a mouth guard, which you would need before football practice. And then someone beats you in the face when you were already bruised up, and all they say to you is, hola. Now, what is the probability of one child of Jake's? They said plausibly, it is possible that with all of the fractures and healing wounds on another child of Jake's, which they attributed to shaken baby syndrome, what is the possibility that the same thing happened to Emmanuel? Do tell. This is actually a good thing that Evil Exists put up. Here's a bruise within 24 hours of an injury. After 1 to 2 days, after 5 to 10 days, 10 to 14 days. Look at hers. That appears to me that she has had that bruise going on 2 weeks.
She's being called out by Jake's ex-wife, who says the baby wasn't at the football game. It's also stated that Jake and Rebecca visited the Big Five store the day before Emmanuel was reported missing to figure out if there were cameras in the parking lot. They went as far as to make up a story that their car was broken into the previous week and wanted to know if there were cameras in the parking lot. All that time, scouting an area to stage this abduction, in my opinion. Police have been at the house with cadaver dogs and are most likely building a solid case before making arrests. The parents are no longer helping authorities and have lawyered up. The lawyer was seen.
The lawyer was in and out of their house. The lawyer is speaking on their behalf. Fine, so be it. I will not be surprised if at any minute there is not an arrest. And I don't think it's just going to be dad. And I don't think it's just going to be mom. I think it's going to be both of them. May said, notice the bruise is on the lower part. Where is the bruising to the upper orbital bone, which protrudes? Am I wrong? I think at one time there was bruising there. I think it's healing. Let's go back to this because they were already asking about cameras at the Big Five sporting goods store. That's the reason I think, or as Gaelic says, tink, I think He has been gone since at least August 4th.
Out if there were cameras in the parking lot. They went as far as to make up a story that their car was broken into the previous week and wanted to know if there were cameras in the parking lot. All that time, scouting an area to stage this abduction, in my opinion. Police have been at the house with cadaver dogs and are most likely building a solid case before making arrests. The parents are no longer helping authorities and have lawyered up. The lawyer was seen at the house earlier today. Well, in some shocking news coming in this morning, Big Five employees are speaking out and refuse to be silenced by police.
Okay, this woman, Maddie, she said, yep, we all did. Cops just finished interviewing us all and told us not to share any info to the public, and I told them no way. They have a right to know this woman has lied about having a baby with her when she didn't. Wow. Okay, Maddie. I get where you're coming from. I get that you have a phone. Spicy Nice said, thank you for speaking out. You know, when police say don't say anything, there's usually a reason for it. I'm not going to fret this chick because I have a feeling she's pretty shaken up about what she's been through. The girl is probably all of 19 years old working at the Big Five. Look at that again.
Employees are speaking out and refuse to be silenced by police. They say police have asked them to not speak to the media, but they told them no, the truth about this mother deserves to be out there. One Big Five employee stated that Rebecca didn't have a baby with her on the day of the alleged abduction. She was there, and police.
She said, Big Five employee here. She did not have a baby on the day of the alleged abduction. I was there. Police have interviewed me and my coworkers.
Interviewed her and her co-workers. Another employee stated that Rebecca had a black.
Here we go. Sofanator 79 said, Big Five worker here. She had the black eye prior to the alleged incident. A manager did her DV duty of care and asked her if she was okay, and she happily said she walked into a wall and had a laugh. Also, no baby with her. These are people that work at the store. She walked into a wall. Uh-huh. Well, I'd like to see that wall.
Black eye prior to the incident. A manager asked her if she was okay, and she happily stated she walked into a wall and had a laugh about it. There was no baby with her. Unfortunately, this may show that baby Emmanuel went missing way before he was reported missing, and this entire fake abduction story was cooked up by the parents as a cover-up for what really happened to him. The father's background concerns me, as he already has some serious charges against him relating to another child, who was also a baby at the time of that incident. Where is baby Emmanuel? That is the big question here. I will keep you all updated.
I think it's safe to say there was no kidnapping on the 14th. I think it's safe to say that no guy came up behind Rebecca and said, hola, and then beat her ass. And suddenly her blood works unlike anyone else's, and bruising and swelling. She's shit. I don't know. She's like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. And I think it's safe to say this did not happen. Question is this an Athena Brownfield situation? We have a playlist on Athena Brownfield where Alicia has all kinds of things to say about what happened to Athena. But, well, we know now all of that is a lie, because Alicia is getting ready to go to court, and the state of Oklahoma is asking for the death penalty. And there are lots of hiding spots. All right, this is from NBC LA. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How can Emmanuel be born perfectly healthy and at 7 months old, have all of these conditions. What did my wrench say? Hold on. Everyone keeps saying. My wrench said, I believe they need to search the casket of the family member that was just buried. Woo! Okay, girl. Okay. Anyone think he could possibly be out in the desert? There's a lot of desert out there. There's a lot of desert in the San Bernardino Valley.
Right now, there are several new developments in the search for this missing baby boy. Now, his mother first told deputies that she was attacked and that her baby was kidnapped from a parking lot in Yucaipa. But now, investigators say she's not been able to keep her story straight. NBC4's Lauren Coronado was live in our new.
Here's another one. Nancy Fleming. Wonder if the landfills have been searched. I'm wondering too. I'm wondering myself. After we went through the entire insanity with Lazy Simon and how she put Quentin in a dumpster, I would not be surprised if they did not put him in a dumpster. I wouldn't be surprised by anything. I wouldn't be surprised. One kicker to the case is that after searching the car, ding, 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 Rebecca didn't even have a diaper bag with her. How are you going to change a diaper without any diapers, my friends? Well, when you know your child is dead, you don't really need to bring a diaper bag with you. Now, do you? Well, hey, Miss C.D. Isaacs.
Newsroom with how deputies are responding this morning.
Lynette, a spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, tells us the couple's 2-year-old was taken by Riverside Protective Services over the weekend. And just last night, detectives were at the family's home in Cabazon. This was just after 7 o'clock last night. Witnesses say they saw detectives talking with the missing baby's father right outside the home. Also last night, as the search continues for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, community members came together for a vigil demanding answers.
I don't blame them. It's their tax dollars. They know they're chasing their own tails because they're smart enough to know Rebecca is lying. Ilyanka said internet rumors from locals say law enforcement were searching dumpsters. Wow, she's dumb. Canvassed for 0 camera spots and forgets the diaper bag. Wow, stupid is stupid. Frank said, my question, where is the diaper? Non-existent, honey. There was no diaper change. There was no abduction. This is totally a cover-up for something I believe happened about 10 days prior. Again, that's what I think.
This was at Big 5 Sporting Goods in Yucaipa, where Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca Haro, says she was attacked in the parking lot Thursday, knocked unconscious, and woke up to find baby Emmanuel missing. Our team spoke with Rebecca Friday.
I don't remember nothing. I got up.
I don't remember nothing? Well, how come you didn't go to the hospital? If you're not unconscious, would you not get an MRI? Would you not go to the hospital? I don't remember nothing. I remember nothing.
The floor and I didn't see my child. Someone took him from me.
Rebecca has not spoken publicly since, and apparently she's not saying much to detectives either. A spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says last week detectives confronted Rebecca with inconsistencies to her initial statement, and she declined to continue with an interview. Now, a national children's advocacy and violence prevention group says it's calling off its search for the baby and pulling its reward offer. This after Rebecca's story began changing and after Emmanuel's 2-year-old sister was removed again from the Haro.
Extremely important detail. When they call off a search, it's because they know there's nothing to search for. And they called off this search really quick. Jinbug said he was never with her. Unfortunately, I think he was gone at the beginning of August. Me too, Jinbug. You could tell that we mesh brains together and talk about these cases. Jinbug said this was all planned and both of them involved. I agree. 100%. Question is, where is he? Like I said, there's a lot of desert around there. And in the desert, there are animals that feed off of the dead. Okay. True story. I guarantee they have forest rangers or whatever you call it in California looking for buzzards. You'd be very surprised. Well, actually, you guys wouldn't because you follow true crime and you're smart AF at how many times a body has been found because of birds. Jinbug said, great minds think alike. I know. I try not to bother Jinbug, but I have to sometimes because we pick each other's brains all the time. Radio God's member for 20 months. Girl, she said, I hope they meet Jesus soon. I don't know. I don't think they're going to meet Jesus. Jesus doesn't like people like that. I have a feeling that they'll get to go through the gates, and I think they're going to be sent to Hades. That's just what I think.
Home by CPS. Of course, if you have any information about where the baby is, or if you saw something at Big 5 in Yucaipa last Thursday, police want to hear from you. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Lauren Coronado.
I love the plum color of that dress. Let's see. Two Boston mom says they won't find him. If he's in a landfill, he's been there for weeks, and there's no way he'll be found. I agree with you. But then I hold out hope that they will find something. I mean, remember little baby Quentin? They found a little piggy toe. They found a baby tooth. They found part of his scalp. Enough to say that they knew he was there. If we're talking landfill. Nicey Marie said, I'm surprised she didn't write a note. For real. Good Lord, why didn't she just go ahead and just say what was going on? This story is horrific. I mean, it is horrific. And Rebecca, according to Fox in Los Angeles, keeps saying they are not cooperating.
Missing infant in the Inland Empire intensifies as the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department says his parents are no longer cooperating with the investigation. This after investigators found inconsistencies in the mother's story. Fox 11's Nick Garcia is live in Yucaipa with the latest. Nick.
Well, Christine, this just in from the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office. They say detectives have served several search warrants at the family's home. They've also gained or obtained a lot of surveillance footage from what they call areas of interest, but did not share with us what, if anything, they found during those searches. But this is the parking lot of this Big 5 where the 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro's mom says he was kidnapped. Detectives now poking holes in that story. Meanwhile, the infant still missing. Another candle placed outside the Big 5 in Yucaipa, the community clinging to hope baby Emmanuel Haro will be found safely.
Not cooperating, getting an attorney's advice when you're dealing with the police, I will never read into you. I think it's a smart thing to do. However, when I hear words like not cooperating, I get really perturbed with these people.
Sunday night, a candlelight vigil as prayers for the missing infant
Hang
pour
on,
in
let's
from
find out. Boston wants to know, is Brooks cutting out for anyone else or is it just me? Can everyone hear me? It's so important that you can hear my beautiful voice. Can everyone hear me okay? We know that Adam Montgomery and Caleb Montgomery were not cooperating. Snow said it's a little choppy. It's crackling. Hang on, I'll come right back. Okay, is that any better? Is that any better? Pat K said, thank you, Brooks, for speaking for those who cannot. Well, thank you, Pat. Thank you. Boston says it's cracky. What the hell? All right, let's do this.
across the area. At the same time, police activity happening around the family's house in Cabazon in neighboring Riverside County.
Everybody, the whole community is just feeling this eerie vibe. We're deep in sand.
People who live nearby driving by the house Monday. Nobody came to the door for Riverside County Sheriff's deputies who were sent at the request of Child Protective Services. This after the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says detectives found inconsistencies in the mother's story. On Friday, she spoke with Fox 11.
I'm begging you, please bring my son back to me.
She says she was knocked unconscious by a stranger as she was changing Emmanuel's.
Who made this flyer? Missing kid. Missing kid. Who made this? Missing kid. Emmanuel Haro, and above it, missing kid. He is a 7-month-old baby. Shannon said, I swear that lady looks so familiar. Funny you say that because I thought the same thing. I was like, what? What are we doing? Recycling abusive mothers? Missing kid.
Diaper in this parking lot. And when she woke up, her 7-month-old was gone without a trace.
It's something that just doesn't happen here. Yucaipa, Beaumont, Cabazon, even San Bernardino, as big as the crime rate is there, you don't mess with children.
Fox 11 has also learned the baby's father, Jake Haro, has previously been convicted of child cruelty.
We need to search and we need to find baby Emmanuel.
As you saw there, the mystery of baby Emmanuel's disappearance, certainly the talk of the IE here. Now, I did try calling his parents using a phone number that they listed on the post.
Okay, fun fact. The flyers that they made that says missing kid, the phone numbers do not go to the police because, yeah, your old buddy Brooks has been calling them. Those phone numbers are disconnected now. Think about that. Matter of fact, I can try to call right now, and you're going to hear the same thing I have heard. This number is no longer in service. Odd. Why would anyone give your asses tips?
of baby Emmanuel's disappearance, certainly the talk of the IE here. Now, I did try calling his parents using a phone number that they listed on the posters that are all over this area advertising that Emmanuel is missing. Those numbers, though, appear to be disconnected. For now, live in Yucaipa.
No shit, Fidel. I've been calling too.
I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Well, Nick, I'm sure it's the talk, the thought of a baby being maybe kidnapped, terrifying for anybody in the community. I'm thinking of how emotional that mother was when she did talk to the media initially, crying, very distraught she seemed. And now to see the neighbors' response, the residents' response, what do you make of the response you're seeing from the public who probably doesn't know the family?
Yeah, there were lots of people. You know, that particular woman who we spoke with does not know the family. She lives in nearby San Bernardino, was vacationing at Morongo. The casino is just a few miles away from the family's home. Lots of people driving by there, trying to see what's going on, even trying to take part in the search in any way that they can.
All right. Well, let's hope.
I think we know who has the answers. Jake and Rebecca, who refuse to speak to police anymore. Also, it's been reported that Jake had a lot of bruising on his knuckles. Check this out with me. Yes, Mallory, we were talking about that. Mallory said, Brooks, on another page, the mom went to Big Five like a week before and asked if they had cameras. Yep, both her and Jake did. And they lied. And they said that their car had been broken into and wanted to know if there was cameras. And they were like, no. So that's the sports store they picked to pretend there was abduction.
That the parents of 7-month-old
Okay, I am so glad someone brought this up. Hope Faith, what's up? She goes, so I just got to this live. Something to note about a mouth guard. Anyone that has had a child in football, you know that you have to boil the mouth guard. And then you have to fit it to their mouth. You can't just pick one up and put it in a child's mouth. That was the first thing I said. That was the first thing that got me going about Rebecca's story. Besides Ola and having a 2-week-old bruise, I have bought many mouth guards, okay? My son actually got a football scholarship to college, played all the way through. I knew exactly when she's like, oh, I just went to pick up a mouth guard. Bullshit. You have exactly. Comment of the day. Thank you for reminding me. Everyone, please. I love it. I love it when you all are thinking and thinking and thinking. Woo, thank you for reminding me. Because that's the first thing that really pissed me off. Impossible. You don't just go to Academy and pick up a mouth guard and stick it in a kid's mouth. No. Hell no.
Emmanuel Harrow, no more than they're saying. There are enough red flags with the father's past, and also police say there are inconsistencies in the mother's version. That alone raises questions. Her black eye looks old, at least a couple of days old, as it's already on its way to healing. Doesn't appear to be swollen and red, like it just happened. What is really suspicious, though, is that the parents went into the Big Five store the day before Emmanuel was reported missing and asked the cashier if there were cameras in the parking lot. They made up an excuse that their car was broken into the week before. We all know they were scouting an area to stage an abduction on the baby. It's very concerning, and I'm so worried for Emmanuel's safety. As the hours pass by, more information is coming out, and many are noticing that Emmanuel didn't appear to be as healthy as the parents claimed him to be. He seems zoned out in all the pictures, and online sleuths believe more was going on than just.
Broken Golf Doll said, I would like to see earlier pictures of Emmanuel. Was he born with a lazy eye? No, he was not. No, he was not.
A squint eye. The sister has now been removed from the home by social services. The father's sister spoke out, admitting that Emmanuel is special needs and late in development, but didn't elaborate any further. This case gets even more shocking, as Rebecca was at the game watching her son and stepson when she claims she left with Emmanuel to go to the Big Five to buy a mouthguard for her son. However, Jake's ex-wife disputes this claim, saying that she didn't see Emmanuel at the football game. It seems that the lies are slowly unraveling. If Emmanuel wasn't at the football game, then this entire thing is a lie. Where is that baby? And what really happened to him? Others are pointing out Jake's knuckles, saying that they appear bruised and dark in color.
Good for the ex-wife saying that she was at football practice. Emmanuel was not there. She also denies that her son that was in football practice needed a new mouth guard.
Others are pointing out Jake's knuckles, saying that they appear bruised and dark in color.
Missing kid. I love that. Missing kid. And the numbers are disconnected.
I'm Emmanuel's aunt. Emmanuel.
Okay. Esme, who seems like a very nice woman to me, has taken down all of her videos. Listen to what Esme has to say.
I'm Emmanuel's aunt, Emmanuel Haro. Some of you may know about what's going on. He was abducted last night in front of the Big Five. Now, there are stories going around that some of you have fabricated.
Listen, I guess, she's Jake's relative. Some people say she's a sister-in-law. Some people say she's the sister. Either or, I don't care. It is very telling to me that, of course, she's going to believe her family in such a trying time. But it speaks volumes that she has taken down everything she has said. Unfortunately, Esme, and I think she has figured out now, the fabrication did not come from the internet. The fabrication came from Rebecca. And I have a inkling that Jake put her up to all of this, because he's already gone to jail for child cruelty. Imagine that. He's already been accused of shaking a baby, breaking ribs, ribs on another child were healing, a leg, you name it. He certainly doesn't want to get hung up for murder. Lil Red said, did you hear them victim blaming this child yesterday? I was so mad. Oh, Lil Red, send me an email. CLL72020.
And I'm just on here just to tell you guys what transpired. So my sister-in-law and my brother, they were at my older nephew's football practice, and he needed a new mouth guard. So instead of taking everybody, my sister-in-law opted to go, and she only took the baby, which is Emmanuel. And when she got there, she realized the baby had went to the bathroom in his diaper. So, as any mom would, which is crazy because a lot of you women are judging her for even changing a baby's diaper in the car, which is mind-boggling, because if there's no bathroom, you're gonna do what you have to do to take care of your child one way or another. She's a great mother, so everything you guys are saying about her, first of all, you don't know her, and show some compassion. Like, she just had her son taken from her. And also, back to what I was saying, so she realized that he had went to the bathroom on himself. Of course, he's a baby. And she laid him down in the back. Her back was turned. She was about to change him. She was getting everything prepared. And she felt like a tap on her shoulder. She turned around and all she heard was Ola. And before she could even see this person, acknowledge this person, whatever the case may be, he socked her in the face, and she ended up blacking out. He knocked her out, and she fell to the floor. And
she's repeating verbatim what Rebecca said. She fell to the floor. Okay, it could be a language barrier. I don't know. I know the difference between falling on the grass, falling on the concrete, and falling on the floor. I don't want to fall on nothing. Someone tapped her on the shoulder. What? And said, Ola, knocked her out, and just grabbed a manual, but left the car. Left her purse, took no money, didn't take the keys, nothing. Sorry, my friends. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
In the face. And she ended up blacking out. He knocked her out, and she fell to the floor. And next thing you know, as she came to, she woke up. She was looking around for the baby. The baby was gone. She started panicking, screaming, crying. She called the police. She ran into Big 5 to see if they had cameras outside or if anybody had witnessed anything. And nobody apparently didn't see anything. And then there's no cameras outside. We're so baffled because how are there no cameras outside? Like, in cases like this, like, what are people supposed to do? I'm sorry.
Hey, Joy K, good morning. All right, May, you read my mind. How does she know all this verbatim? You know where my true crime mind goes sometimes. I wonder, is she in on it? Did she witness the murder? Why is she not shaken at all? It is not the store's fault because we already know there was no kidnapping. There was no dirty diaper because there wasn't even a baby in the car. The baby was not at the football game. Emmanuel has not been seen in person since at least August 3rd. When people are not visibly shaken by a 7-month-old baby being missing, I have to wonder. You're not going to find a dirty diaper. Hell, she didn't even have a diaper bag with her. Employees have already spoke out.
Like, in cases like this, like, what are people supposed to do? I'm sorry. So after that, my brother told me that he had realized that his wife wasn't back because by that time it was already 8 o'clock and she had left around 7. And he said that he ended up calling her, and she picked up the phone and she was hysterical and he couldn't even understand her. So the police had took the phone from her and told my brother what had transpired. And he had his ex-wife there because, you know, they had a...
The only one in this family that is not sketch, shady as shit, is the ex-wife and the employees at the sporting goods store. Okay, Esme here, it's almost like she wrote the story for them. Grandma can kiss my white ass and I'll fart the word Ola to her. We don't cover up for murderers. We can never swear what anybody will or won't do, especially when their story makes no sense.
Son together, and his ex-wife and her boyfriend ended up driving my brother to Big 5, and ever since then we've been looking for Emmanuel. We've been giving out flyers. People came out, prayed for us, prayed for Emmanuel. It's been a very hard time for our family. I haven't slept. My brother hasn't slept. We just want him back. And there is a lot of discussion on whether my nephew is special needs.
Explain, Esme, why is your nephew special needs? We're going to talk about that on another show. I promise if you do some, as we call around here, a deep dive, you're going to find out that Emmanuel was born perfectly healthy. Perfectly healthy. But like his older sibling, who suffered horrible abuse by Jake, another sibling that was put in a dog cage, I think we're going to find out that these happy, healthy babies are horribly abused. When a baby's eyes go cross like that, and they have healing ribs and bones, and their bones are rubber, okay? They are. Jake is a monster. And I believe Rebecca is covering for him. Like I said, the only ones that are not shady as shit in this are the ex-wife and the employees at the sporting goods store. True story. And I'm not going to be surprised if at any minute there's not an arrest. I think what they're doing is they're trying to find Emmanuel. They're not going to find Emmanuel alive. They're not. They're not going to. State of California is very, very weak on crime. I'm sorry to say they are. They are. Hence why Jake was allowed around children after being not just a child abuser, but guilty of child cruelty. And she's taken up for him. Esme is taken up for him.
There's a lot of discussion on whether my nephew is special needs.
Because of your brother.
He is late in development.
Because of Jake.
But as far as we know, the doctors say that he's in great health. He's fine.
He hasn't been to a doctor. Shut up. You haven't been to the doctor. They're not going to take an abused child to a doctor. Shut up.
And he just has a lazy eye, and
he wasn't born with one though.
That made him more beautiful than anybody I knew, because I loved him so much. It didn't matter what he looked like. And I know he's going to come back to us, and with your continued prayers and your you uplifting us, I know he'll come back, and whoever took him here, I can't even say who you are on this app, but
yeah, we're not worried about the app, honey. We're not worried about the app. I don't like when things are said like was loved, was healthy. Mr. Quinn, is that the mother? No, that's either the father's sister-in-law or sister. I don't know why they're taken up for this. XX Game Mode said she just used past tense. I love when you guys pick up on that, because there's a lot of chats that you'll say they use past tense, and it's like a bunch of famished fucking pit bulls come after you going, that's not a big deal, Brooks. That's not a big deal. You're reading too much into it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. How many trials have we watched where a prosecuting attorney will point out that the person on trial used the victim in past tense? Megan Boswell, Letitia Stout, Adam Montgomery. It's a huge deal. Past and present tense is a huge deal. Huge deal. Dawn and Candace say it all the time. She just loved to twirl. Oh, she just loved to twirl. Well, she gave her brothers a run for their money. No. No. All right, so the search is over. All right, Stock Market Steve did a great video yesterday. I'm giving him props again. And if it's okay for all of you, I'm going to continue to talk about this case tomorrow, because I think at any moment, please hit your reminder. I think at any moment, they're going to be making arrests. And I think the press conference is going to knock your socks off. There's another one, Meganels. Leilani. Good old Lazy Simon. She did. Right there, Chrissy. You're exactly right. On the missing flyer that their asses made, it says, missing kid. Missing kid. They put their phone numbers on. Good God. You know how long it took me to crack a beer and start calling those numbers? One crack and deet, 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 deet. This line has been disconnected. I'm like, go figure. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Well, thank you, Mr. Quinn. Yes, Brooks, I'll be here with coffee in hand. Yeah, who's bringing the coffee tomorrow? Mama Bear brought it today. Susan wanted a bear claw.
The channel, welcome back to another video. First time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Well, guys, this is the latest news coming out of Yucaipa, California, regarding the missing child, 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. They have just announced that they are ending the search. They called off the search, and
which is quick, super quick, considering he was reported kidnapped on the 14th. They called off the search because they already know there is no way he was kidnapped. Mallory said, I love the Carmelo Frappe from McDonald's. I have not tried that. But you know, the best iced tea that you can get around here, you're going to call me crazy, it's from McDonald's. I'm telling you. I don't know what they're using over there at the McDonald's in Glenpool, Oklahoma. But I will go, well, I can't really go out of my way because it's just across the road, across the highway, to go get me a tea. Better than Sonic's, definitely better than Brahms, and I love everything that Brahms does. They have the best cherry limeade. They have the best. Let's see here. Coupon Mama 123. Who all is new here? I'm seeing names I've never seen before, and I'm happy. I'm pleased as punch you guys are here. Coupon Mama 123 said, I feel it'll be a few hours and we'll see an arrest or arrest. Me too. Fingers crossed. Little Red said, do you have HTOs? I don't know what that is. Everyone, welcome Walking Dead. She's new. Ashes is new. Angie Baby's new. Well, what the hell is going on here? What on earth? Angie Baby, who's new here but has been a member for 30 months, said McDonald's don't do iced tea in the United Kingdom. What on earth? Aaron's new. Well, let's go ahead and take a second and welcome our new friends, and then we'll get back to the show. Angelina's new? Absolutely. Christina said she'd move if there's not good tea. I make mine in my coffee pot. I do. I use the Louisiana black tea bags, and I do it in the coffee pot. Angel P's new here. Well, actually, she's making some people new because she's gifting Crime Lines and Laws memberships. Everyone, say thank you to Angel P. Oh, hold on. Broken Golf Doll is going to be 60 next month. Woo, girl. We can do a members live and do a birthday for you. We had a huge one for Pat last Tuesday.
You can expect this to be upgraded from a missing persons to most likely a homicide. We all spoke about that in various videos we done about how sick this is and how bad the parents look. Both pictured up here, Rebecca Haro and Jake Haro. I said my opinion about it, but let me show you what they're saying now about this case. And this is unfortunate, man. I mean, make no mistake. I mean, besides the lies and the goofy stuff, this little boy, man, had a lot piled up against him, you know, with a disability and everything. And then to have this happen to him as well.
Los Angeles Times says that police are back at the house searching again. I think when they find out whose blood they found in the laundry room. It's gonna be big. It's gonna take time. May said, I'm making a gallon of Suburban Sun Tea. I love Sun Tea. I love Sun Tea. I'll tell you what, we're talking about drinks all day. Coupon Mama said, Bojangles has the best coffee. I've never had their coffee. Yep, I love to make Sun Tea. I do. You know what? Because it never goes bad. It never turns. It never turns. I love it. It just doesn't. Yeah, I sit it out there on sometimes if I've got the car on the front, I call it Denali tea, and I'll put my picture out there. It's great. And Susan, she loves lemonade. You can make an Arnold Palmer in the sun, Susan. Get you some sugar, get you some tea bags, get you some lemons. It'll change your life.
It's just bad, man. Take a look.
Details in a story about a missing 7-month-old baby that has garnered national attention. An organization announcing they are pulling their search teams and reward offer for information leading to the missing baby. This as investigators cast doubt on the mother's story. Eyewitness News reporter Leticia Juarez is live in Yucaipa with this major twist in this case. Leticia.
Well, as you can imagine, there's still a lot more questions and answers at this point, and that comes especially after the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department tell us that the parents of Emmanuel Haro stopped cooperating with their investigation. That lack of cooperation also ended the search efforts by the Uvalde Kids Foundation, which had offered a $5,000 reward, saying that those inconsistencies and the fact that the parents are no longer cooperating has them questioning what is going on in this case. In the meantime, the Sheriff's Department tells us they are continuing to search for that 7-month-old baby. It's been 4 days since
Christina, what are you talking about? Taco Bell has the best Pepsi? How does Pepsi taste different at the Taco Bell than the Quick Trip? Do they have extra carbonation? I need to know about Pepsi from the Taco Bell.
7-month-old Emmanuel Haro was reported missing by his mother. Over the weekend, detectives searched his family's Cabazon home with canine units. This morning, that house was quiet, deserted. But outside, cars slowed down. Neighbors stopped by, hoping for answers.
It broke my heart. I have my little baby, and I love her so much, and I can't even imagine losing my child or anything happening to them.
Just shocking. I want that baby found.
It all started Thursday evening when Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca Haro, said she was attacked while changing her son's diaper in a Big 5 parking lot in Yucaipa.
I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember.
But on Saturday, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said the story Haro told detectives had inconsistencies. And when confronted about it, she ended the interview. They also said they can't rule out foul play in the disappearance of Emmanuel. A day earlier, she made this emotional plea to Eyewitness News.
Just give him back to me again, please. Don't harm my son.
Since then, there's been silence.
Does anyone think when she's crying and goes, "Don't hurt my son," do you think that maybe that's what she was saying to Jake? Because look, those bruises didn't come out of nowhere. She really needs to speak to the detectives. She really does. She really does. Joy K said, "Am I the only one not seeing tears?" I'm not seeing nothing. Mallory said she's fake breathing and crying.
It's from Rebecca and her husband, Jacob, who, according to Riverside County records, pled guilty to willful cruelty to a child following a 2018 arrest. On Sunday night, the community gathered in the parking lot of Big 5 for
He pled guilty like 5 years later, according to the article from KTLA.
For a candlelight vigil to pray for Emmanuel's safe return
and for answers.
They'll find out, and it'll be soon, I'm sure, and everybody will have their answer. And we're hoping that it's not what we all assume, but we have to wait.
Now the couple has retained their own attorneys. I spoke with Jake Haro's attorney earlier today, and he tells me that his client does intend to make a statement. He does want to clear the air about his 2018 conviction for child abuse. Reporting live in Yucaipa, Leticia.
There's no clearing the air when your child has broken ribs, healing ribs, hairline fracture, and your other child was put in a dog cage. There's no clearing the air. There is no clearing the air when your child, Emmanuel, I'm speaking of, was born perfectly healthy and suddenly has a very swollen cranium and suddenly cross-eyed and suddenly can't make a grip with his right hand. There's no clearing that air. Sepsis. Welcome to the channel. Sepsis said, I think she got her ass beat by Jake about 10 days ago, and Emmanuel was hurt and killed, and they left it long enough to try to get away with it. Me too. I will not be surprised if they don't find out that Emmanuel, if they didn't pull an Adam and Kayla Montgomery, we have a whole playlist on that. If they did not put that baby in the freezer. I agree 100%, Sepsis.
Juarez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, guys, you seen it. They called the search off. This is no longer missing persons call. Now, most likely to be upgraded to a homicide. And most likely, you'll see an arrest coming real soon, just like the people said. Yeah, this will be over soon enough. And I want to show you something. The people.
Now, I don't know if I read it to you in the article from KTLA. Jake is due in court next month in September. I don't know exactly what date it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. For having a weapon, a gun. I'm tired of saying pew-pew. I'm tired of saying unalive. We're all adults here. We know what we're talking about. Okay, so not only was he convicted and pled guilty to child cruelty and basically got a slap on the hand, he knew with his felony charge not to have a gun. Well, what is the first thing that pieces of shit do when they get out of jail? They hook up with the same people they were hanging around before, and they get a gun.
People that was talking, look how spent they were. Like, oh, I'm tired of this shit already. This is a baby here with his parents. And, you know, the more I think about this, man, I mean, a lot of stuff just crosses my mind. And it's three things I focus on. Number one is it was inconsistencies in her story. You know why? Because I think the baby wasn't there. That's point one. I think the baby wasn't there. Another thing is it has a lot to do with what was on that videotape, which nobody's talking about. Because they said she lost her shit when she got on when that videotape. She saw that videotape. In my honest opinion, guys, we're just going to stay on the videotape right now because I think these are bad liars. And I think she honestly is lying. He's lying through her, meaning he the one that made the story up. She's the performer, and she got bad acting, and so does he. You know what I'm saying? I think something happened in the house before that child was out there, and we spoke about that. I don't even think the little boy was in the car. And I think that video, she might have, you know what I'm saying? Because she had pointed out there was no cameras in the thing. I'm more than sure they scouted that place, and that was the place they decided to go to. I'm more than sure. And the truth will come out. I don't think when they showed her that video, she probably got out, went in the store, and ran all frantic, and then came back to the car, and the baby was never even there. And she never went around the side to do all that stuff because she thought she wasn't caught. You can't go anywhere nowadays without being spotted by some type of camera. I mean, you're seeing criminals getting busted all the time by being caught on candid camera, not even knowing it's a camera. Yeah, you might not be a camera in this place, but it could be one across the street, it could be one at the gas station. It could be one anywhere. And these people are not thinking. The smarter criminals think they are, the dumber they look, especially those that like are low level and trying something for the first time. These people look bad in public. People preyed on them. People that lost children and stuff was, with a heavy heart, was feeling for them and stuff. And the whole thing is a ruse. I'm more than sure he's the main culprit and he's the one that they after. I don't think they after her as much. Yeah, she cooperated with him, but
she could make a deal. She needs to get off her fat ass, her fat, bruised ass. She needs to get with her attorney. She needs to tell the DA what happened and make this all go away. Will we be mad at her cooperating with Jake? Absolutely. We'll be upset that for the last 7 months, she watched a perfectly healthy baby being abused by Jake? Absolutely. What is better to do right now? What is better to do right now? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Do it. She knows what she was put up to. She knows what she was asked to do. If it all comes down to she just loves Jake, she loves Jake. Hell, for all we know, she's probably knocked up again. I'm telling you what, the evilest people in the world, they breed like fucking rabbits.
think when this is over, he gonna be the one that hang for this, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something. He got a bad criminal background, a willful child cruelty case. He was convicted of. It's coming back on him. You understand what I'm saying? The state then already took that little baby, that 2-year-old daughter they had. The state then took the baby out the house. So what does that do? Now they both got separate lawyers. They both lawyered up. I thought they had one lawyer. They got 2 separate lawyers. What'd that tell you? 2 separate cases. If it does come out, this is not looking good at all for
2 separate lawyers. You know why? Because Mr. Quinn said, are there any photos of the dad? Yeah, right here. There they are. There's Jake, Emmanuel, and Rebecca. There are 2 separate lawyers. Because when they were confronted with their inconsistencies and their lies, I believe they knew one was going to go down for murder and one was going to go down for possibly tampering and conspiracy.
either of them. And the community knows it. And people are just shaking their head, and they should, because this is a goddamn shame. This is disgusting. That baby had enough to deal with, you know, with it, as far as his disability, whatever it was. And he needed patience, he needed attention, and he needed love. And obviously, there was a breach in that at some time or another, and now he's gone. They brought cadaver dogs to the house. They smelled around the house in all various places, fields and all kind of stuff. What you think about that? I'm more than sure they got all the evidence they need. Now, people are not living at the house where they was at. You know what I'm saying? The family ain't went back over there. The husband trying to keep control of the situation. Remind me of Stephen Stearns. He want to keep control, or he want to be close enough to her to where if something said to her, he at least know about it.
Thank you, Frank, for reiterating that. Jake is the one that disabled Emmanuel. He's the one. He's the one. He's the one that disabled his last child. I want to know what the hell is going on with the Child Protective Services system in that area that he would be allowed to be around a child ever again. I want to know why Emmanuel was never taken for vaccinations, checkups, or anything. These women disgust the shit out of me. People say all the time, oh, the men, the men, the men, the men, the men, the men. What about these women that have a uterus that I swear to God is made out of a Michelin tire? They can get knocked up, spit them out, and then they just sit back like, oh, okay. Okay. We talk about it in Nova Scotia with Malaya. We talk about it in a lot of cases. They like the pogo stick more than their children. They think that their children are a way to hold on to a man. Deborah said, I hope that was okay to say about the frying pan. It's my first post on this really nice show. Girl, you are good. Girl, you're in great company. Glad you're here. Very glad you're here.
Because I think he's the one that is the cause of this. And she's corroborating it out of fear or whatever. You sitting up there with one fresh black eye and then another one that look like it's healing. If you look close to the pictures, this whole thing is a mess. But it's a goddamn shame a baby wasn't protected by the ones that reared it, and it's their sole purpose in aiding him in his growth and development, whether he's disabled or not. And that's the damn shame in this. I feel no pity for either one of these people. They over there by the side of the big five, they looking down like they observing something. They looking for evidence. The fuck out of here. Who you think you fooling? I put some flowers down there. That'd be the last thing they ever seen. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with Stock Market Steve. I have no sympathy for Rebecca or Jake. And I mean none. None at all. Mr. Quinn said, we speak our opinions here and it can get deep. Oh, you better believe it. We love it. We speak our mind and we walk away as friends. We don't have to agree. Susan is the one that came up with the whole just agree to disagree. It's okay. I think in this case, we can all agree it is foul. It is foul as fuck. There is no dirty diaper. Emmanuel wasn't in the car. Emmanuel wasn't at the football game. Emmanuel wasn't at the park the night before. Her bruises are from an ass beating she got on August 3rd, is what I believe. And I think in that altercation, I believe that is when Emmanuel died. Where is he? I don't know. No idea. I think that I don't know very much about the area in California they're from. So I don't know too much about their cell service, things like that. I have a feeling they're going to be downloading a lot of digital and a lot of GPS. And I think that's going to lead to Emmanuel's body. However, Rebecca, she could easily tell them what happened. She could easily tell them. Because I don't think she killed Emmanuel. I don't. I think it all goes straight back to Jake. If you received a Crime Lines and Lies membership from our friend, Diana Howry, please tell her thank you. Let me see. Who got one? Teresa Clay, Angie Hyatt, Kelly Owens, Sunflower Sandra, Florida Girl 420. Woo! TLC is me. Country Bumpkins, welcome. Lori, woohoo, Uncomfortably Numb. Isn't that a Pink Floyd song? Oh, that's Comfortably Numb. Swade Smith, well, welcome to the family. My goodness, thank you. Danielle said, my own sister got in trouble for abandoning her 2 children, and the judge told her to tie her tubes or go to jail. This should happen more often. Yeah, welcome to Oklahoma. Welcome to Oklahoma. They say that all the time. You get your shit fixed. It's not the government's job to take care of your babies. It's not the government's job to support your kids. It's not the government's job to tell you when to take them to the doctor. Couldn't imagine living like that. I mean, I get a text from my doctor's office like a week before I'm supposed to be there. I'm like, yeah, I remember. Don't worry. I got it on my calendar. Yeah. Anyone that has to breathe down your neck to take care of your children, that's damn sad. That is sad. These people are what I would consider just deviants. Okay, they are deviants. And she hooked up with him. She has children with him. Not just Emmanuel. Because remember, their 2-year-old has been taken by the state. Too little, too late, if you ask me. Too little, too late. Rebecca, I understand that your ass got beat. To me, it looks like you're a bigger gal than Jake. Personally, I think you could have taken him. And all you had to do was grab that phone, which you're very good at using. And all you had to do was hit 911. All right, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please be here because we are going to be speaking about Rebecca's ex-husband and what he has had to say about this whole situation. Jaw dropper, he is not surprised. He is not surprised. Thank you so much, Mod Squad. Thank you so much for the donations to the channel. Look at this. Crime Lines and Lies memberships coming out the wazoo. Pat K, thank you for the donation to the channel. Look at all this going on. You all are amazing. You guys are the ones that keep this channel afloat. I love you to the moon and back. And I will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. You're the absolute best. And that's, well, it's easy for me to say because you are. But when you're talking about the filthy fucking YouTube streets, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are amazing. See you tomorrow.